I will explain why it makes sense to pay in full and not in installments. We are Think Money Smart, and we believe in being smart with our money. Look after your money, it will look after you. The main thing to consider that will help you with your installments is if there is interest charged, if you're paying it monthly rather than paying it in full. And most of the time, for say car insurance and electrical items, usually the interest charges are say the 5% or 10%. If there's interest charged on your installments, it'll always make sense to pay in full and put up with some short-term pain so that later on you can buy some extra coffees or have a meal out rather than paying it in interest. With installments, you may think you're making it easier for yourself, but actually it's making it harder for yourself because all you're doing is taking money away from your future self. You could buy a little treat for yourself. We believe it's better in your pocket than in the banks. There are definitely exceptions when it makes sense to pay monthly, and that is if you've absolutely no way of paying it in full. Then it makes sense, you've no choice, but you just got to ask yourself, are you paying for something that you actually need, or is it a want? If it's a want, you shouldn't be buying it. Even if it's something you need, and you're paying installments because you've no choice, then you'll still be worse off down the line as well, because you're still paying more money. So it's not going to save you any money. You're just going to have to pay it back at a later date. And that's why it makes sense to cut back on something you don't need in the short term, so you can pay off this insurance, pay off this electrical item that you actually need, and just cut back on something you don't need. Okay, it's a bit of pain, like cutting back on something, but down the line, like I say, you will have more money in your pocket. And to me, it always makes sense when you want to be smart with your money. Why don't you want to have more money in 12 months time than you do now? It just doesn't make sense. Why to pay installments, pay the interest when you don't have to? Better in your pocket than theirs. The times it does make sense to pay installments is when there's absolutely zero interest charge. Then it makes sense. Why not just pay monthly and then keep that money in an interest earning account? It makes sense then, but you've got to be very wary of these deals that are like 0% for the first 12 months, because a lot of people, they do these deals of 0% for 12 months, and then they get to the 12 months and then they find they don't have the money. So then they go on to a new plan where they're paying extreme interest charges because they just keep paying the minimum payment, and in the end it just takes forever to pay it. In my opinion, it is always best, and it'll save you money, it'll save us money, to pay it in full, or at least once you pay it in full, it's done and dusted. You can forget about it. That's what I love about it. If it's car insurance per se, I pay it and then forget about it. I don't want to worry about a payment going out monthly for my car insurance. My car insurance is a big one. That's one I did when I was younger. I used to pay £600 and odd in the early noughties or late 90s. It was a lot of money because I weren't earning that much money. But I cut back on a lot of things, and I made sure I knew I'd save money in the long run. On another note, if you would like to improve your financial situation, please check out this video that will lay the foundations for you having a better future financially.